Hey guys, welcome to Monday Night Live in Lexington. You all, my name is Catherine Kaufman and I'm a psychic medium here in Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome to every Monday night show where we explore what and who we are in this journey called life. So we go over all kinds of paranormal topics on Monday night. Hey to all you guys over here on Instagram. Hey to you guys on Facebook. Shout out to James, Magnolia, Melissa Begley. Big kiss to you and Miss Cleo, Peggy Foster, Lisa, Michelle, Tom Driver, and Michelle Robichaud, Michael Robichaud. Let's see, Crystal Sparrow. Thanks for joining me. Magical Monday indeed, Melissa. I hope that you're healing up okay, still sending prayers and some healing energy your way. So I hope that that's doing some good. Hey to Tiffany over here on Instagram. William Johnson and Social Brand School. Thanks for joining us this evening. So tonight's topic is going to be dream walking. Part 1 is on my YouTube channel. If any of you guys want the link to that part 1 video, drop a comment there and just ask for the link and I'll be happy to get that to you. Hey to Robbie Prince, Robin Carpenter, William, and Jill. For those of you on my professional page, Catherine Kaufman Psychic Medium on Facebook, I did leave a link on that page for you. If you want to join the live chat, it only happens right here on Facebook on my personal page. So the link is there. If you want to join the live chat, hit that link and come over to the personal page. But if you just want to watch and chill out, just stay on the professional page and watch. Hey to Sandra Buchanan Clemens, Tiffany, Angie, George, and Steve. So last week, I'm going to do just like a really brief recap of last week's content. We were talking about dream walking and what dream walking is and how you do dream walking. Now, dream walking is where you actually enter someone else's dreamscape. And to do that, you have to be a really proficient lucid dreamer, and I mean a very proficient lucid dreamer. If any of you guys have questions, leave the question on my personal page over here on Facebook, and I promise you I will get you links and information. And after we get done with the Wilds technique tonight, I am going to leave contact information for a lucid dreaming program that I really like, and then some information on the Wilds technique that we're going to go over this evening. Hey to Mary Lee, Charlotte, and Jasmine. Thanks for joining me. Absolutely, I will leave a link to part 1 for you, Jasmine, no problem. So when you're doing dream walking, the first thing you need to do is get very proficient at lucid dreaming. And then what you're going to do in the dreamscape is construct a portal. And we go over this in detail in part 1. You're going to construct a portal through the dreamscape to the other person's dream. Now, to do that, you're going to have to know, what the person looks like, who they are. You're going to have to create this energetic mind portal to their dream. If you're really, really good at lucid dreaming and you don't want this person to know that you're entering their dream, you can cloak yourself as an animal, as another person, as a different type of entity. You can even cloak yourself as an angelic being. However, that person may know that you're not who you project yourself to be based on feeling. So we go over a little bit of defensive techniques in dream walking as well in order to protect yourself from a proficient dream walker. you would have to be versed in lucid dreaming as well. And when that thing or person presents themselves in the dream, you would know that it's not who it's projecting itself to be based on the feeling, the gut feeling of this thing or person that's presenting itself to you. So then what you would do as a proficient lucid dreamer with someone else dream walking into your dream is through the lucid dreaming technique, you would be able to remove that disguise from that person and know what their identity is. So the best defense from a dream walker is to learn lucid dreaming and be extremely proficient at it. So hey to Grace, Bone Pal, Sonia, and Greta, and Chastity. Thanks for joining me. So let's see, somebody's having trouble with the upload. Let me know, guys, if the feed is okay, or if it's sluggish. Hey to Pamela Thompson. Hey over here to Annie Angel 1. Thanks for joining me. So always beware a dream walker and become as proficient as you can at lucid dreaming, so that you will be able to know when things or other people are invading your dream. Now, the difference between lucid dreaming, Obe'S, which is out-of-body experience, and astral travel, we need to go over that again very briefly before we get into more content. The out-of-body experience is the act of induction, or it's a mechanism of induction that projects you in the subtle energy body into the physical plane. So when you're having an out-of-body experience, you're still perceiving the physical plane around you. So when you're projected out of the body, you can still perceive the room around you, your bedroom. It may look very, very different, but you're still in the physical plane. An astral projection is a skill or an act, and the astral projection usually takes you to a different level of consciousness or a different dimension entirely. So that's it's the projection of the subtle body into the astral realm, which is a different realm than the physical plane. Okay, so you can, in the astral projection, you can switch from different worlds with just a thought. Okay, so OBE is the projection into the physical plane, and then the astral projection, it visits you. It's an act or a skill that visits different planes of existence. So what I think happens is we first learn how to dream, then that goes on to lucid dreaming. The next step is lucid dreaming. The next step past that is the out-of-body experience, and the next step past that is the astral projection. Hey to Tara Wheeler. So this is a progression of learning how to do this, and it's sort of like graduating from the dream to lucid dream to out-of-body experience, and then to astral projection. Now, some people do astral projection and they don't really have knowledge of or connect with OBEs or lucid dreaming. It's possible that even skipping the first step, which is dream analysis, if you can't remember your dreams, if you don't train yourself to remember your dreams, then you can't remember the steps leading up to the astral projection. So it's real important to first learn how to analyze your dreams. And we go over the step process in that part 1 for that, on how to do dream analysis. It's really basic. But we're going to mainly go over the Wilds technique this evening. Let's see, Georgia McKinney. The military group had a group whom gathered intelligence by astral projection. These are several documentaries about this. Yes. So the Wilds technique is what we're going to go into this evening. And so Wilds, W-I-L-D-S, stands for wake-induced lucid dreaming. And so what this is lucidity on demand. So, and it also kind of stimulates peak lucidity. It's more controlled, it's more consciousness driven than allowing your body to enter the dream state and then trying to become lucid and trying to take over the dream with this lucid thought. So this is a technique that you induce while you're awake, which is very, very different. So, so George says it's very interesting. Yes, it was most likely remote viewing, but it, you know, George, it does involve techniques of OBE and astral projection. So they all kind of mesh together, these things. So again, Wild's technique is wake-induced lucid dreaming. It is lucidity on demand. It fosters peak lucidity, the most vivid type of dream possible. And it's based on Tibetan dream yoga. Okay, this is a Buddhist philosophy used as a path to enlightenment. And you can see where inducing a state of lucidity is like practice for the other side. It's practice for losing your body and being able to direct your spirit through your consciousness state without the physical. Now, this Wild's technique is easier if you meditate. So, hey, to tell you more, I'm telling you guys, meditation is the key to everything you want to do on the other side. Meditation is the key to connecting with anybody else on an energetic state. It's the key to connecting with spirits on the other side. It's the key to connecting with universal spirituality. It's the key to everything. If you don't meditate or you just can't meditate, you're losing that key that opens the door. Now, if you can't meditate or you just can't get with it, my suggestion is to try binaural beats on YouTube, B-I-N-A-U-R-A-L. It is referenced in the Wild's technique because it's an automatic brain entrainment technique that puts your brain waves right into meditation without any effort on your part. All you have to do is be sure that you listen with earbuds and that you listen to these videos for at least a minimum of 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes is how long it takes your brain waves to switch and change to that entrainment of the brainwave technique. And it's called binaural beats, B-I-N-A-U-R-A-L, B-E-A-T-S. Go to YouTube, put it in the browser. There will be hundreds of videos that come up. The ones that you want are the binaural beats for psychic abilities. There will be hundreds of those to pick from. So now back to the Wild's technique. It's based on Tibetan dream yoga. You can use it for a path to enlightenment. It does require practice. All of these techniques require practice. It requires practice to do your, dream analysis. It requires practice to figure out to wake up in your dream and become lucid. And the Wild's technique requires practice, but I think the Wild's technique is a fast track to being to learning how to lucid dream, because you're taking a waking state and you're driving it forward with your consciousness down into the dream, and we're going to discuss how to do that. Hey to Courtney and Jen, thanks for joining us this evening. Okay, so what you want to do, people as like kids are naturally Wild's technique savvy, and you know how when you were a kid, how you would like construct the dream, how you want, let's say tonight I want to dream about you know, going swimming at the pool that we went to today. And so you would kind of construct your dream while you were still awake and project yourself into the dream as you go to sleep. That's basically the Wilds technique. So the key is to know when your body's sleep signals are triggering. Once you can identify these natural triggers and the responses while you're falling asleep, then you can construct the lucid dream and put yourself directly into it. So the first, number one, you guys may want to grab a pen and paper. Hey to Imala over here on Instagram, thank you for joining me. It's good to see you, and thank you so much for the tarot cards. Those are awesome. I plan on using those for Fun Friday, this coming Friday. So step one for the Wilds technique is you want to relax into corpse pose. Now, those of you that know yoga we know what the corpse pose is, but it's basically laying on your back with your arms kind of out at your side, just like you would lay out a corpse. So you're gonna, as your body falls asleep, your mind still is staying awake. Okay, so to begin, you're trying to relax and become loose, and it's harder to do before you go to sleep. This technique is easier to do if you wake up in the middle of the night and then you are putting yourself back to sleep. That's when I like to do this, is if I should wake up 3 or 4 and I have to go to the bathroom, I'm still really drowsy and relaxed, and I go back to bed. That's the perfect time to do the Wilds technique, okay? It's much, much harder if you try to do it, you know, just going to sleep cold turkey there. So the information that I read on it for you said that the ideal time for this is 4 to 6 hours after going to bed. So for me, that's, you know, probably about 3 a.m. when I have to get up and go to the bathroom. So you're going to lie on your back, and it's the most effective technique because most OBEs and sleep paralysis happens when you're in this position. And I think that that has to do with the energy being unobstructed coming up and out. So you're going to empty your mind and just gaze into the blackness of your closed eyelids. You want to try to visualize the phosphorescent patterns on the back of your eyelids. And once those phosphorescent patterns kind of pop out, that may be the point where you're entering the hypnagogic state, which is what you want. You want everything to be very, very surreal, very, very detailed, and you want to allow yourself to become mesmerized by the colors of these phosphorescent patterns. Now, if you're having difficulty with this, you can put a little pressure on your eyelids with the palms of your hands or your fingers for about 20 seconds, and that will sometimes cause this to come out a little bit better. Let's see if there's any questions. Can you spell the name of this technique, please? It's called Wilds, W-I-L-D-S, and it stands for Wake-Induced Lucid Dreaming Technique. Sorry. So it's the Wilds technique. All right, so then after that, after you're noticing these phosphorescent patterns and you've pretty well figured that you're in that hypnagogic state, if you're having trouble with that, do that technique where you're putting just a tiny bit of pressure on the back of the eyelids. That should trigger slowly a cascade of phosphorescence for you to start focusing on and working with. Now, at that point, you want to interact with your hypnagogia, okay? And that will kind of pull you deeper into this state of meditation and relaxation. Some people prefer to ignore that state and just kind of hop on to the imagery of the dream. And some people just let the dream form out of that phosphorescent interaction. But as you go deeper into that hypnagogic state, you may experience a little bit of sleep paralysis. If you do, try to relax. What you need to do at that point in your mind is start lucidly forming the dreamscape around you. What kinds of images do you want to come out of that hypnagogic state so that you can start forming the dreamscape around your lucidity? So you may hear sounds, you may have physical sensations like floating or falling or tipping out of bed. All of that is normal. And so what you need to do is just try to stay aware and don't fall asleep at that point. Your awareness needs to be sharpened at that point. Now, sometimes you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you're going to already find yourself immersed in the dream, and your body is relaxed and your mind kind of drifts between the dream world and your dream bedroom. If you can, try to stay lucid with this. Now, in order to do this, there has to be no external distractions. So that means your partner has to be asleep and quiet and not disturbing you. There can't be any noises that are going to disturb or wake you up at this point. Now, when you're in this moment and you're trying to stay lucid, one of the best things to do is to repeat a mantra at that point. I like to repeat, I'm dreaming, I'm dreaming. This is a dream, I'm taking control in the dream. This is a dream, I'm taking control in the dream. Then start to produce the images that you want to see come about in the dreamscape. You know, just like that pool. Did you want to go swimming again? You're dreaming yourself back to sleep. So this is the most common time that everybody falls asleep. That's why it's really important to keep that mantra going, that you're dreaming and you're taking control. If you get startled by that hypnagogic state, just remember that it is a dream and that you're going to take control. Expect the unexpected, because you don't know, what kinds of images your subconscious is going to produce at that time. So if something unexpected happens, just roll with it and keep repeating, I am dreaming, I'm taking control in the dream. Now, should you experience sleep paralysis at this point, and that can be very scary, keep control of your consciousness. And what you want to do in that point is called out-of-body exit. So an out-of-body exit is needed when you're experiencing the sleep paralysis, but your consciousness is awake. Okay, so the out-of-body exit is where your consciousness focuses on and recreates the feeling of falling or the feeling of push out of your body. And so what that does is it removes the consciousness from that sleep paralysis state that the body's in. Then you've pushed yourself out into an OBE, and you can go ahead and create your dreamscape and start your lucid dreaming process. I know this is really complicated, and you may have to go back on YouTube and watch this a couple of times. So the first, let's say that everything's going okay, you're not having any sleep paralysis. So but this is a harder technique where you just create the dreamscape. So what you're going to do is when you feel that dream state coming on and the images and the dreams, the dreamscape is forming out of that hypnagogic state, that's when you're ready to launch the sequence for your lucid dream. Okay, so that's when you need to take control and say, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, and then that's going to happen. And that's launching the dreamscape for that. And you're maintaining that lucid state in your dream. Now, if you get to that point where you feel that paralysis coming on, you're still cognitive, so that's when you want to launch the out-of-body exit, okay? And the out-of-body exit, like I said, is it's a state where you're going to take control and push your energy out of the body. Okay, it's kind of a dislocation type of technique that you're using for that. So that would be forming the sensation of falling or forming that sensation of push that you need, your consciousness needs to drive your spirit or your energy outside the body. Scary, yes. So Sonia says it's scary as hell. Yes, it is. But you know what, Sonia? If you are lucid, then you have control over it. The most important thing about that moment is for you to stay calm. Because if you're lucid, you can take control of this. When you're doing an out-of-body exit, the most important thing is for your mind to produce some kind of kinetic motion through thought that causes that reaction for the out-of-body to happen. So the out-of-body exit is a quicker way than trying to visualize the dreamscape. It is a quicker way. When you have this OBE, it's hard to tell that that's actually happening, because you know you're being pushed out into the physical plane, and everything kind of resembles, you know, what it normally looks like. However, there will be always something off about that plane of existence. Like for me, when I do OBE, everything has a blue haze to it. It'll look exactly the same, but it will have a kind of a blue, bluish gray color. And so that clues me in that this is not the physical plane, but this is, I've done the OBE already. So very, very interesting. Now, the reason that we're going into the Wilds technique is because if you want to use this for dream walking, it is a very good fast technique to do that, especially the out-of-body exit, using that to produce the lucid dreaming. Once you get to that point, then you can take that and go that step further, form that portal, and enter somebody else's dream. But always do that in an ethical way. This is a good technique to use if you are practicing on your techniques and you want to increase your skills. Get a willing partner that's willing to try this technique with you and to practice. And if they're allowing you to enter their dreams, you know, reciprocate that. And make sure that this is a two-way street. Anyway, I know we're out of time for this evening. The author of, okay, so I wanted to give you information on a good program that I have for lucid dreaming. Okay, so the best program I found for lucid dreaming, the practitioner's name is Chris Hammond, Chris Hammond. Hammond. The name of the technique and the website is claridream.com. claridream.com. This is an excellent program. Now, if you want to know more about the Wilds technique, how to use it, more about the techniques, the author's name is Rebecca Turner. She's a science writer, illustrator, explorer of consciousness, and founder of World of Lucid Dreaming. So all you have to do is Google World of Lucid Dreaming, Rebecca Turner, and her techniques and products will come up on the search for you. Now, we're going to the magic button tonight, so let's find out what's for dinner, David. Hey, what's for dinner, David?
Hello. How are you?
It's cold and rainy here, and I don't like it.
I don't like cold and rainy either, so we're going to have a nabe hot pot tonight. Japanese
it's
hot
nabe
pot.
night?
It's nabe night.
All right. What's nabe?
This one's going to be a catch-all hot broth, and we're going to put into it shiitake mushrooms, shirakaki, did I say that right? Yam noodles, and carrots, a daikon radish, and spring onion. I didn't have any greens. I'm just using things that we already had in the refrigerator, and pork.
That's awesome.
And then we'll have a dip, and we'll have some pickles with it, and whatever you want.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get off of here, and we'll finish up. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I will see you next Monday night for another episode of Monday Night Live in Lexington. I think next Monday we'll kind of go more into Obe'S and astral projection, because this is just a really complicated topic. If there's any kind of topics that you want to see for the future, just drop it in the comments, and I keep a running list of stuff that I need to do. So thanks for watching. Kisses from Kentucky, and I will see you next Monday night. And for those of you that play Fun Friday, I will see you Friday. Later, guys.